Hey there, it's BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is currently Saturday, and I'm doing a little bit more Spirit of Justice. Boy, I've been slacking off on this one. I don't know, I've just been sick, and I haven't felt like I've wanted to put my voice out there when I'm sick. But we should be good. So hello everybody in the chat. It is good to see people who have joined in. Hello everybody. Okay, now if you weren't here the last time, let me catch you up on what happened. Basically, we're in a situation where it looks like Phoenix and Apollo Justice are going to have to fight in court somehow. How that's supposed to happen, I don't know. They're both defense attorneys, and up to this point in the series, I don't think we've actually had like a situation where a defense attorney was fighting against another defense attorney. Or at least in this capacity. I don't know if Phoenix is just going to take the side of the prosecution or whatever. Like maybe he'll be on the other side of the field. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it will work. But the only way we're going to figure that one out is if we dive in. So let's go ahead and head on over. There we go. And oh, and just a heads up, again, I still have not worked on setting up the proper chat integration and also the alerts and all this stuff for this current setup here. So they're not going to be showing up on the stream. I apologize, but you know, based on what you saw from the previous stream, I've been busy. So, turn on the desktop audio. There we go. Funny Stuff says, I believe this is a type of case that doesn't require a prosecutor per se. Eyebrow raise. Anyway, May 17th, 10:08 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Just so you know, I'm not going to take sides. Message received, loud and clear. Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team. Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad. I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault. I don't know. I just feel like fates have completely skewed everything. You know, we need to save an entire country here. Julexia says, my friend is watching the stream and says hello. Well, hello back. By the way, are you a part of the Discord yet? Because I should probably give you a verified, the verified role. She is now. Let me see if I can find you in here. Ah. Okay, you are not online at the moment, I don't think. There you are. Boink. Done. Okay. I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. I'm sure they will. Knowing Phoenix, I'm sure this is all a part of his plan. If they go through with this...
Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about all that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges.
Some men don't burn bridges. I've known a few people that, you know, it's almost like they had a torch and they had a necessity to use it. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, I have it linked to a lot of my social media and also to this Twitch channel. If anybody wants to post it somewhere in the, in the Chadley area, I'd appreciate that. Really?
Sure. 1 minute we're trading blows, and the next, we're having drinks together. We're simply creatures at heart.
I sure hope you're right. Sorry I'm late, Paul!
Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday?
Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport. Frickin' course. There was a part of me that was sitting there, it's like, is there going to be some horrifying thing where it turns out Athena has gone completely missing? Oh, no, she's just clumsy. Gotcha. I was waiting there thinking his flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark.
I figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are two things you do best.
Ah, guilty as charged.
So then, I take it you have no idea what today's case is about?
Not a clue, sorry. What is today's case all about, if I might ask? Collar poll. Another locked room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Ooh, or a dying message?
Sorry, strike 3, you're out. It's a civil case.
A civil case?
You act like I'm speaking Swahili here.
It's just the Wright Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In any case, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties retain an attorney.
Right, and the other attorney is someone you know very well.
Really? Who? The trial begins shortly. Please proceed to the court. Of course, we're being cut off.
Okay, let's do this.
Apollo, wait. Who's the other attorney? And where's Mr. Wright?
No time to explain. Let's go.
Yeah, okay, right behind you. Yeah, you're in for a fun little surprise. Let us reconvene with the judge. May 17th, 10:30 a.m., District Court. Courtroom, number 6. Interesting. No prosecutors. I feel like we're gonna have a prosecutor show up or something.
Court is now in session. Oh
dear.
Is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps?
No, it's not, Your Honor. It's the real deal, Your Honor.
So then you two have had a falling out?
No! Hey! Keep those things to yourself.
I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know.
It's nothing like that, Your Honor. Exactly. It just so happens that we have different clients in this case.
I see. Well, here's to hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship.
Funny Stuff says, also, I love how politicians act is in this trial. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh god. You can say that again. I had no idea we'd be going up against the boss today. You sure this is a good idea, Apollo?
What, you want to switch sides?
Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now.
Well, at least she is here. I'm really gonna need her help.
Right, 2 superhumans via 1 really stupidly good lawyer. Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. As I said, the kid gloves are off. And come what may, they'll stay off.
Same here, Mr. Wright. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
Kiss. Shadow says my cat scratched me on my pinky tip yesterday or the day before. Now you have a scar. I hope you're not allergic, because if that's the case, that's going to be a very itchy scar. Funny stuff in the chat. Someone in the gallery. You two should kiss! Yeesh, you guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep this civil. Civil case civil, don't get her. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin.
Very hygienic. Oh dear.
Right, left, halt!
This jackass.
Noble Judge, members of the gallery, good day to you. I am Paul Atterson. This is but the start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Too long have they been looked down on rather, and given the cold shoulder. So to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country. Ask what you... Don't interrupt me!
Mr. Addison, what is that crazy contraption you're riding?
It's my custom-made election-winning campaign mobile. Beautiful, isn't it?
You're at a witness stand, not a campaign podium. So come out of there this instant.
No, oh come on. You know how these guys work. All right, I guess I can't use that filter. Shoot.
All right, now would the plaintiff attorney, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant?
Mr. Addison's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant, one Dirk Sadmadhi, stole my client's family heirloom, the crystal of Amy Faye. Mr. Addison merely seeks its return. This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist hadn't kicked the bucket.
I see. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement, if you would.
The defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Kurain. Funny Stuff says, I don't know if you noticed, but he put his name tag on the witness desk. Did he? Oh, shoot. Stuck up bastard. First of all, how did that thing get inside the judgment hall? How did you get in there on that?
Go on.
It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Kurainese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. Hello, Rosa. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Kurain several weeks ago.
Why, yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of a Kurainese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom.
Paul Addison Undertale. Well, we believe that it was not, in fact, a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Kurain by someone for Dr. Buff to study.
You don't say. And?
Around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently, the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he'd learned it had been stolen.
It seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties.
Mr. Sadmadhi also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Kurain, once the doctor verified it was the real thing.
I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the crystal of Amy Faye. That, in turn, will determine the object's rightful owner.
I better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park, rather.
Come to think of it, the name Dirk Sadmadhi sounds awfully familiar, but I can't recall where I've heard it.
Oh, it's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all. We're screwed. He's read the tabloids. We're doomed.
My imagination, you say?
Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Kurain, isn't he? He's just a tourist. In Kurain, yes. Here, he's just a tourist.
Very well. Let's begin the proceedings. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness?
Legs. Hello! Oh, man.
Emma.
Show some manners, we're in court. I know, it's just... This is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand. I had her do some digging on Dr. Buff.
What for?
You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective. I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve. First, I'm sorry, and second, I'm really just trying to do my job. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Rosa, see the sash? Read 'em and weep. Take some advice from someone who's been there. Why do I feel like I'm on trial here?
Detective Sky, your testimony, if you please.
All right, we'll bust it wide open. Or we'll just, you know, try and refute things. It sends, forensics, you forensic. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Oh, really? That would explain why so many of these random things from our past are here. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fey clan. Yep, the sword and, you know, the statue. It seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Adashid residence.
The doctor is a thief? Why am I just hearing about this now?
Well, cat burglar isn't something he'd put on his resume. He was more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Like people who have thrilling adventures in exotic places, risking life and limb for glory. For some reason, DuckTales just popped into my head. I doubt Dr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, Athena, or a part of a show about ducks. Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Apparently, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. Mapley, why? DuckTales, woo! He would then return them as soon as his research was finished. According to the doctor's child, he would either repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. So, did you restore the gravy on the tapestry? But whatever lofty ideas he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny.
Yes, he certainly sounds no different from a regular thief to me.
So, let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Kurain and brought it back here himself? Nope, there's no recording of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone.
Then this really must be the crystal of Amy Faye.
Yes, he stole it from the Adashan residence, probably so he could study it. Yipe. This is the left hook I did not need. Did someone say, "Oh, woo in my presence, you are my friend now"? That's how this works. I bet you never saw that coming, Apollo. Yeah, when Mr. Wright said the kid gloves were off, he wasn't kidding. Ha, kidding.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Woo, woo, ooh woo. I feel like, it's like English only in my chat. I do not understand this language. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. Rosa said, still not over the fact that his name is Justice. Phoenix's last name is Wright, so he is always right. How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police, anyway? Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifacts thefts over the past few years, the police finally zeroed in on him, and the doctor became their prime suspect. Oh, low blow, Rosa. Oh, or is he? Was he right on time for Mia? No! A number of those artifacts thefts occurred in Kurain Village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the doctor moved there. Splat says, bless Windows 10 for letting me easily do the... Yeah, I don't even know what that emote is. How would you pronounce that? Jalexia says, you think I'm understanding this language either? I'm fudging it. Rosa, sorry for being blunt. Hapface. Gotcha. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime. No, which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal? They're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly. Or, you know, it was hit by a steel samurai ball by a little girl. Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. So I was shocked to see it there in the doctor's study. I can say without a doubt that that urn was stolen from the Fae clan.
I see. Detective Sky, please continue with your testimony, if you would.
Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan.
Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Faes?
Yes, for instance. Ooh, a little bit more info. Remember the large relief on that wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the kingdom of Karaid several years ago. Love it when my health bar is an attorney's badge. Yes, I can only present 5 attorney's badges before they kick me out.
Chiseled out? Didn't that damage it?
Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get-out-of-jail-free card, that's for a fact. It's a football. I chiseled it. If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. It seems the doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist. He sounds like a good man. Who took a wrong turn somewhere? And now we're doing references to the Mario Luigi adventure thing. Do you ever wonder where babies come from?
Well, you see, Luigi, when a paisano puts...
You know what? Yeah, cover your ears, Bobs.
You see, Luigi, when a paisano puts a spaghetti noodle in a Mamma Mia's ravioli, a little bambino comes out with it covered in prosciutto a couple of weeks later. Or actually, no, 9 months later. Not a couple weeks. That'd be terrifying. I've completely botched the entire quoting. But let's move on. Weeks?
Yeah, I know. Any further questions? If not... Seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
What does that have anything to do with babies? Mario, I don't understand.
That's because you're a dog, Luigi.
Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time? At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts had been local. But before moving to Karain Village, he had been stealing from ruins around the world.
Dr. Buff was an international criminal?
This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief. Oh, what the heck are you guys talking about in the chat? Mario Super Shoal voice and Luigi just come out on a normal ass voice. What? I am so confused. Right, I think I'm going to move on and keep my my brain. Anyway, as for this relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Addison residence.
We're memeing. Veer your eyes elsewhere. It's my chat.
You claim he stole a family heirloom from the Addison residence, but claiming something doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, it is true. How can you be so sure? A police report was filed concerning the theft 1 year ago, in fact.
What? A whole year ago?
August 25th of last year, to be exact. The report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Addison storehouse at 10 o'clock a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked." Signed, Paul Addison Wimperson.
Wimperson? Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor could really have stolen the crystal of Amy Faye.
Not only that, Your Honor, but the Founder's Orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. Then it's nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items. Ah, shoot. Claiming doesn't make it true. Tell that to the internet. Paul Addison Wimperson. Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why he cut it. Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes. Very well. A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago. But the theft on the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago. So the crystal's police report was filed way before the orb was found missing. That suggests the stolen relic is a crystal of Amy Faye, as Mr. Addison Wimperson asserts. I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma is the one who submitted it as evidence. Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Let's... Oh, whoopsies. My bad. You're new to this case. Is it a theft case? I mean, pretty much. We're trying to figure out, like, what kind of a relic this is. So let's think about this one. Let me take a look at that letter, because it seems like that is a very important piece of information. A report filed a year ago by one Paul Addison Wimperson for the theft of the crystal of Amy Faye. All right. The crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Addison storehouse at 10 o'clock a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked. Very well. There's something about this that's weird. Oh yeah, Shadow says, this is an argument over if the orb of the... is the Founder's Orb or the crystal of Amy Faye, and whether the dragons should get the orb or not because of the name. Yep, and it's very important for the dragons because it could potentially, it belongs to an entire kingship, and potentially it might sway the entirety of the, the political landscape in that country. If it gets taken by this jackass, well... he's a greedy jackass. Not much else to it. Anyway. So, let me think here. Storehouse lock and all that. So there's got to be something important involved with that. I doubt there's anything... Well, let's take a look at the orb transfer agreement real quick. I agreed to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons. Okay. No, I don't think that has anything to do with that letter. Sir, your badge is glowing red and pulsating. Is that normal? Yes, don't worry about that. I'm just minutes away from death. Don't you worry. No, I think that's everything to do with how to open up the box. Karain's national treasure. The doctor hid it in the ruins before his untimely death. And there's a nice, pretty little picture of the orb. If you're going to submit wrong evidence, there's a penalty. Yeah, pretty much. Badge! The doctor fell, hit his head on the floor, and died. There are blood and coffee stains on one of the books. Very well. There's Sarge's drone. I really doubt that's going to come into play here. Data obtained from the doctor's computer includes a report on his research on the Oh, well, let's take a look at this real quick. I deciphered the patterns, but have yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key. Okay, there's the information about that. Oh, here, to Paw 711 at Endmail from Dr. Buff. Who the heck's Paw 711? Mystery! Doctor's poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything with out of these. They were found on his desk. There's a reference item from Mega Man. Where? Which one of these is a reference item? Does it have something to do with something in here? Like, is it one of the icons that's on his computer? The ice. What? What? I'm so confuzzled. One of those icons? I don't know. Is that gear and a wrench? Because I don't. It doesn't really look exactly like a Mega Man thingy. Or is the icon directly below it? Below the gear. Oh. The only thing I can think is Cutman? Is that what I'm getting from that? That's the first thing that pops into my brain. Rosa is going to look this up. Okay. I have never played Mega Man Confusion. Okay. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Addison residence. So, this is pointing to this robbery report, talking about it, and potentially something maybe about this email could potentially talk about it, and talk about the Founder's Orb. But there is nothing about this that says anything about where he obtained it, so I'm going to say that's probably not it. But perhaps I can use the information in the letter on one of the other things. Seems the doctor would do anything to study artifacts. Among them were a priceless urn, statue that were stolen from the Fae clan. Just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. Okay. It's a power-up to Mega Man's power-up. You can show it on Discord, but you don't know if you guys don't understand. I don't know, by all means, like, post it somewhere. I'm curious. OJ Silver Studios is currently in the Discord, and they are currently tackling everybody. I have to assume that this is probably the statement that I need to be presenting stuff on, so I'm going to save here real quick. Oh, by the way, turns out I completely forgot to shut off the game when I was done playing it the last time that we played it. That was a week ago. Whoops! And I have also gone through this entire dialogue. It's fine. DSs are designed to be idled, so it's cool. Right. Like I said, I feel like as for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Addison residence. So, Try not to give too many, like, in-depth, if you know for sure, or if you have, like, a very good idea about what it is, maybe don't immediately yell it out. Just a heads up on that one. Or if you just have absolutely no idea and are just spitballing, then sure, yell it out. Let's see. He likely stole it from the Addison residence. This is just a bunch of, like, research notes, but I don't think this would have anything to do with it. She's spitballing. The game's new to her. Okay, fair enough. It's cool. It's cool. I'm just trying to circumvent if somebody actually genuinely knew the answer and just being like, I know! Maybe it has something to do with, like, some specific dates. Son of a... Man, when was this sent? That's a good question. Like, when was this email sent? Because if we found out when he started doing his research, like, that would help us. If he had it for over a year, then he would have been able to check it for an entire year. I'm gonna try this. Objection! Got it! I'm not 100% sure why, but I got it. The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff? Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence. What do you mean? Take a look at this. What about it? This contains an email from the doctor's computer. Are you freaking serious? How old are you?
Email in that little piece of plastic? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, this stick here can store all sorts of computer data.
I still don't get it.
Here, just look at this. Apparently, the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual. Now, take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Sky presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Paul Attition Wimperson.
I can see why he dropped Wimperson from his name, but that's hardly breaking news.
Look closer, Your Honor. His initials! Oh! Right, the plaintiff's full legal name is Paul Attition Wimperson. Now, consider this. Pa! The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters. P-A-W. Ah! Don't tell me. Oh, but I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Paul Attition Wimperson. Wait, then that means... Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Therefore, how could this possibly be the crystal of Amy Faye? Ah! Yay, dumb luck. I did not notice that, but I'm just like, I guess it might have something to do with it. We never checked the doctor's emails. We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer. The plaintiff willingly let the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it, at the behest of his benefactor. Wait, then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here. It's probably for another relic, the real crystal of Amy Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal. And how are you so certain that Paw refers to my client's initials? Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Paul Attition Wimperson. Oh yeah, jackass. Okay, there he goes. I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of the politician's job. Answer me this, Mr. Attition Wimperson. What is your shoe size? Your favorite food? Your birthday? I think I have a good idea, but I'm gonna save just in case.
Lucky for you, I'm a dog lover.
Oh wait, Shaggy. Brr. Sorry. Don't you think their hands would get red from slamming? No, you don't understand. These are professionals. They can slam desks all day, you don't even know. Constant preparation is required for a job like this. What's your birthday?
What is your birthday?
My birthday. It's July 11th, but what's it to you? Oh, I see. You can address birthday gifts to my office. But, full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. Yeah, Phoenix gets it. Why has everyone gone silent? How can anyone be that self-centered? Oh, right, politician. Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather, 711 matches the numbers in the email address. Both the name and birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence. Wait. Why, you sneaky little... Looks like someone's finally decided to join the conversation. Thanks for the follow, Coggenball. Coggenbowl. I don't know, how do you pronounce that? Who names their email after their initials and birthday? I have an email that is sort of like that. Rosa, no. Mint, no. Give me a second. I need to do at least something with this. It's a meme. I'll roll with it. I apologize in advance. Cover your ears.
CBT.
There we go. Everything is right with the world. Will the plaintiff care to explain? I warned you! I would like to say, that is quite what? Quite a thing you've said. Right, will you refute it or what? We were ignorant. You'd be surprised just how much compression goes into this stream. I could make it very loud.
Any other thoughts?
No further comments. I stand by my previous statement.
Hold it!
Yeah, don't walk off. I'm talking to you. You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. Oh, why does this have to be so relevant? Stop it! I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary.
Oh, no you don't, you slippery eel.
Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Thanks for the clip, Mint. I won't argue with your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. It seems that much is a fact.
Now we're getting somewhere.
However, it has no bearing on the issue of ownership.
How so?
Mr. Addison, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they had found out. It's a family heirloom, after all.
You've got to be kidding me.
Mr. Wright is, well, right, of course. But then, he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. The crystal is a precious Attician family heirloom, and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study its proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't even tell my grandfather.
Objection!
Your grandfather's dead. Sorry. But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, you are going to give what you claim to be the crystal of Amy Faye to that person. You are going to give a precious family heirloom away, just like that? I was going to explain everything to grandfather later, honest. My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. And if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no. You love how I made him talk like a robot. Oh wait, are you referring to
This.
Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled.
No, just in general. Oh, I'm just trying to make him sound as like politician-y as possible. Yeah, sort of like a JFK sort of thing.
That's what grandfathers are for.
Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries. My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today. Look at this. It's so shiny. I call him Mildred. Actually, no, I call her Mildred. Say hello, Mildred. Mildred! Oh, for God's sake. Hello! So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal as I saw fit. Grandpa's spoiled little brat. I think the judge is buying it, Apollo. No surprise there. He's always going on about his own grandchild after all. Yeah, excuse me. Can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done. By all means, Detective Skye. Thank you for your assistance. You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around. It's just a shame that we couldn't get one more, like, just one single case where one person isn't dead in the middle of it. Politicians deceiving the court system? Never.
It seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. Attition Wimperson apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed?
Oh, all right, now what? Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called crystal of Amy Faye. Asinine Attorney is for me then. That's right, we got Asinine Attorney left to go, after we're done with, like, these final chapters of the game. I'm so excited. It sounds ridiculous. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, handling tax evasion. Those were some dark days for the Wright Anything Agency. Maybe we could find some inconsistencies in their statements. Right. Okay then, Mr. Wright. If the item in question really is an Attition family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Of course. Mr. Attition Wimperson, please tell the defense everything you know about the crystal's origin. All right, now then, listen and learn. This is the tale of the crystal of Amy Faye and the illustrious history of the Attition clan. Are you ready? Our story begins back in the old country, when the Attition family reigned supreme. Asinine? You'll figure it out. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Amy Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to them. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Abuse power? What? On Funny Stuff says, he said ass. Well, that devolved into a great load of aggrandizing propaganda fast. Warrior voice. What? As you can see, the crystal of Amy Faye is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Attition. Rosa says, I see Bitby as a Waluigi, to be honest. You're not wrong. And you have proof that it has always been in the Addison family? Then who's Wario, Ben? Yes. I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Ives Shinetto. I've seen Eto. I've seen... There's something to this. There's gotta be a pun in here somewhere. Age 85. Gave the following statement. The Addisons showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad. I've seen shit. Oh! Shit! This game's being sassy. Can we really trust the memory of an old man? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain that statement to the judge? I didn't mean it. What I'm trying to say is,
Overruled, you're out of my court. Never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are clear as day. Therefore, I find Mr. Ives' Sinetto's statement to be perfectly credible.
Wow, did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want up my sleeve. Nah, he sways with the wind, for God's sake.
Guilty!
But this is a civil trial.
Guilty!
You're not helping, Athena.
You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Justice.
That's a good question. Who is guilty and not guilty in these circumstances? I guess the entire country of Kirain. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. Ah, thanks for the follow, Blood. That object you see down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. The one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Attition. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. Ding ding. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. Something tells me you had that engraved in some random shop in the mall. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine. Very well, I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. The Maria brothers made it themselves.
Time to go to the plastic.
He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Wacky says, this smile just makes me remember troll face memes. Ah, yes, I remember those. Those were a nice, charming, part of the internet so long ago. Memes were much less complicated back then.
Eat your plastic from side to side.
No, don't eat plastic, then you'll have it in your intestines.
So I take it the relationship with the Fae clan was a close one?
A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the Paul Addison way.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the Paul Addison way. More like dodging questions. That's the Paul Addison way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Addison family protected the Fey spirit mediums back then. There we go. Splat said, I zoned out while writing. Crunchy plastic. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination? Yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And then, there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you. He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator at a political debate. Yeah, and only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, could we please get back to your testimony? As you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Amy Faye. As thanks, Amy Faye gave this crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. Silver wants to slap this guy. I think everybody does. You said he had it made, so then it was made in Japan? That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable, too. And you were going to take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron? That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about. But only when it's in service of your own political career, you mean? The crystal is a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore, I am a descendant of that great lord. Hold on a second. No, you're not. So tell me, Mr. Addison Wimperson, are you famous in Karain Village, rather? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather, bemusing. Bemusing? Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedroom. Holy shit, you're so full of yourself. I guess ignorance really is bliss. All this only proves my fine lineage. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Have you never heard of kingcraft? What? Kingcraft? Is that Minecraft except with kings? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of its precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. Well, that answers my question about what he meant by king of this nation. Progress, rather. Apollo, who is this Amy Faye anyway? I believe she was the founder of the Karain channeling technique. The plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right? Yes, I suppose it would. Hum. Interesting. So what I need to be presenting on is this. As thanks, Amy Faye gave the crystal she had specifically made as a gift to him. So let's point out where it actually was made then. I think that's what we're trying to do here. I love building brown bricks in Kingcraft. Oh, damn it. Okay. So what could I present here? Kurain's national treasure. The doctor hid in the ruins before his untimely death. I don't know if that would work, but here's some research notes on the thing. Mifama motif from Kurain's founding period. This is just a, this isn't a part of the orb, though. It's a part of, like, the shell that the orb was hidden in, but don't know if that would have anything to do with it. Well, then there's the email again. The opaque crystal orb is the key. Interesting. A report filed a year ago. Okay, nothing about specific, like, whereabouts of where it was built. Keep thinking. So all this really does is it shows, like, the outside of the orb itself. But research notes on the Song of Ceremony and the box containing the Founder's Orb. So perhaps the box that's containing the Founder's Orb would be a piece of it that we would be trying to bend to, and considering it has labeling on it that's, like, Kurain's founding period, I'd like to think it was not made in Japan, but Kurain. So let's try this.
Objection!
There we go. Excuse me. You stated that Amy Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. So am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. Ah, yes, and look at the symbol right down here, you bastard. Take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Mitama motif, dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Kurain.
The Kingdom of Kurain, and you base this on...
Here. This piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. It features the same pattern as the one found on the orb.
They do look like the same pattern.
Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Kurain. Gah! Oh, no! My placard!
Objection!
The Kurain channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Kurain, and Amy Faye is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Kurainese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there in the Kingdom of Kurain.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Kurain based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese. Fair enough. Hey, Mario. How's it going? I hope you are having a lovely day.
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast.
He's right. We're just spinning our wheels here. I wonder if we have any evidence that could break this statement. Evidence that could break this statement. I'm just gonna save. Feels so weird doing a civil trial. I don't like it. I'm not fighting a prosecutor. It's a defense attorney. And it's my boss. Help! Wacky says, hey, remember the cross that looks like Cutman's weapon with a ball on it? It's called Yashichi. The more you know. Oh, jeez. Oh, I just went and I looked at the art channel. Thank you for the art, Snail. I don't know if you're here, but that's adorable. The Yoshichi to Mega Man gives the player full HP recovery. There's probably something to that symbol, then. I'm just going to, like... I'm going to bullcrap my way through this and say it exists. The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break this statement. Wait, stalemate, rather. Oh? Well, you've sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you've got. All right. I will now prove that this is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. All right. How can we prove, without a shadow of a doubt, that it is the Founder's Orb? At least half the game is bullshitting it. Yes. Let me see. Conveniently, none of these things are talking about Founder's Orb anywhere in here. In fact, they said crystal at one point. Whoops. My stuff says, that's how law works. The doctor's poor eyesight. Let me think. What would be like, you know, breakthrough, holy crap. My badge! No. Maybe it might have something to do with this, perhaps. Dragon and Tighter Battle. Founder offers divine protection. Butterfly Embrace. I mean, this specifically talks about the riddle of the Founder, and then that was the case that it was on. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is what it was supposed to be. The doctor fell and hit his head on the floor and died. There are blood and coffee stains on one of the books. Did we ever figure out what was on that book? I don't even remember. Chilexia says, okay, now I'm inspired to just make a my badge emote. Oh, the problem with emotes is that, like, there's only so much area you can work with, and, like, you'd have to double up on emotes in order to make them work. I suppose, like, you could literally just take the badge. Funny enough, we have an emote of, like, Phoenix pointing in the Discord. So if I just added a badge, then, combo that up and bada boom, bada bing. My badge emote. Orb transfer. I mean, let's take a look at this. I agreed to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if it will come to no harm. I mean, you'd think just the fact that he acknowledges that it's the Founder's Orb would be enough. Screw it. And just how does that piece of evidence prove that the relic is the Founder's Orb? It doesn't it? Not by any means I can fathom. Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this. Me too, actually.
Me 3 defense.
Yikes! Point. Take that. Badge. There we go. That's a good combo.
Time to think. Okay, time to think that one over again, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, shit. Something tells me that I was not supposed to pick exists. I'm gonna select does not exist. Like, the game would not, like, lock me in an unwinnable state, so clearly they meant for me to select does not exist. Got it. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. Oh yeah, did you you bend it back into place, you jerkwad? Oh, that's much better. What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? I'm listening. What if The Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic.
I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void.
What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright?
While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder.
What? Murder?
I mean, herpedidir.
Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among that mountain of books was a single volume of psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it.
And you feel this is important because...
The books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Oh yeah, look at that little, the outcropping where there are no books. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bookshelf, the bottom shelf rather. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf.
And that's when the blood got on the book.
Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was a murder?
Of course I do.
Of course he does. You do.
On a hunch, I had Detective Skye examine the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another.
Wait, what?
A wound like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered!
What?
Well, that was unexpected. I kind of expected it from the beginning, honestly. Nobody is ever just accidentally killed in Phoenix Wright. Who'd have thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us. Pulled the step ladder right from under us. Shut the...
Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming.
Jackhammer. Oh. Oh, shoot, it's so hard to keep, like, the Phoenix Wright lore straight.
Even if the cause of death was murdered, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons?
You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations. Right, the aquarium captain. It doesn't happen often, I guess is what I'm saying. Did you forget you were up against Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice?
Huh?
All three of them were accident. Oh, well, oh, for God's sakes. I don't know. It's just sort of like they always end up as murder trials, so I keep forgetting and thinking that they're murder trials. My brain! The third was a murder intended for someone else. No. Right. You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, do you?
What are you talking about?
I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene.
He saw what?
If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time? How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He just wants a thorough job to be done, man. Don't you worry. He was just waiting to spring this trap.
This trial has taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon.
The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Okay. I mean, it might have been the book. Just gonna throw that out there.
Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial. All right, Mr. Atterson Wimperson, your testimony, if you please.
Oh my god, it's like a grade schooler who has just fixed up like a piece of paper they ripped in anger. Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration forged in the crucible of campaign battles. He's proud. Look, I fixed it all by myself. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Arball. He was running out the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you. What frickin' fluff.
So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence. And it was within the window of the estimated time of death.
Wah! That's Arball. What in the world were you doing there, then? Okay. It seems Mr. Arball was loitering around Kurain Village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice?
Yeah!
You mean the suitcase? Exactly. He must have been in quite the rush to leave that behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Arball just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. See, that's him trying to escape as we speak.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away! Right, you backstabber, what are you doing this to me?
Poor Arball. He just wants a revolution.
All right, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice.
What a tangled web we weave. All right. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought.
Why were you taking a walk?
Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved, and as a politician, I'm always on the job, thinking hard about possible solutions, even on my walks.
Thanks for the non-answer.
While we live our comfy lives, there are starving children who suffer in the back alleys of our major cities. It's not in me to ignore such suffering. Yeah, so you're gonna go out to one of those back alleys and get stabbed? Stay home. Mario Kimon, we live in a society. A vote for me is a vote to end hunger and for world peace. Yes, Mr. Addison Wimperson, we are well aware of your outstanding character. Now, please continue with your testimony. I can practically hear my poll number surging. Now, on with my speech. After all, the voting public must be informed of the magnificence that is me. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Arball. Mario says, Paul Atchison Wimperson is such a fun character. Oh, he certainly is. He's definitely one of those characters that you love to hate. Even Phoenix is tired of this bull. Yeah, I mean, hey, Phoenix has got a pretty good bullshit filter. It has been well-toned over the years. Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Arball? Right here, under this tree. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door. Okay. And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree.
Is it really all that important to know where the plaintiff saw Mr. Arball?
I'd say so, yeah. Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony. I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Arball. What were you doing under that tree? Stalking people. A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall. What? That is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. The question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Addison Wimperson? I suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. Oh yeah? Try me, O Lord of Plebs. Mr. Addison Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please. I can hardly wait for the upcoming election. Good lord. Funny Stuff says, sorry I'm not talking much. Mario Kart Tour is requiring my attention. Specifically getting 10,000 points on Waluigi Pinball R, because why not? I haven't checked out Mario Kart Tour. Is that any good? His suit looks like a cardboard box already, though. It kind of looks like it looks like a rug from, like, I don't know, just some kind of a rug store came and beat the ever-loving sense out of him, and then he started wearing a rug around. He was running out the front door. Did you notice anything unusual? Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew I had done something. And it probably wasn't... I knew he had done something. Don't look at me. I did nothing. And it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police? Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff? Not me. That's why I didn't report him.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is this an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Not for now. No, it's not important.
All right, then. Let's have the witness continue with this testimony.
Funny Stuff said, Mario Kart Tour is pretty good for a gacha game. Not very predatory, and for a simplified version of Mario Kart, it's pretty fun. And Jolexia says, Mario Kart Tour is pretty good. It's a bit on the controls, specifically if you're used to the past Mario Kart games. I knew I had done something. Wait, no, I didn't kill him. Never mind. It was around 10 a.m. at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime.
But at the time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct?
It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. He is a pillow that cannot be fluffed any harder. I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades. As class president, I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times.
This isn't working. He keeps bending the question to serve his own needs.
Hang in there, Apollo. Mr. Addison Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony? I have the upcoming election in the bag. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. This is my promise to you. Hold on! How are you going to uphold that? So how do you actually oh my god. I was kidding! Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? I don't know, it would be nice to know what your election plan is so we can actually know that voting for you is probably a good idea, but... Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on. No comment. Clearly, his is a platform told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. How poetic. He saw Mr. Arball from under that tree. Apollo, maybe there's some sort of an inconsistency there. Oh, well, gee, thank you very much for pointing out the obvious. I wonder. Why don't we review the evidence? Yeah, maybe there's something we've overlooked. Isn't that a famous quote? Yeah, I think that's why, like, you know, so literate. So what I think is going on here, I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Arball. I think I know what the heck's going on. But just in case, I'm gonna go right ahead. I wondered when this map would come in handy. Objection! What? It's not? Please take a look at this piece of evidence.
I'm looking, but what am I supposed to see?
As your boss and mentor, here's a bit of advice. Never present evidence before you have a good grasp on the situation at hand. That's hilarious coming from you. Right, sorry.
And as the presiding judge, here's a penalty.
Oh, Mario Kumon says it's from Macbeth. Life's but a walking shadow. Poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. How cultured. Ouch, double team for just doing what Mr. Wright always does anyway. Okay, I still think that I need to be, I was under this tree. At this point now, I feel like it's the crime scene photo. Objection! Damn! This statement contradicts with this piece of evidence.
And just how does it contradict with the evidence, Mr. Justice?
Could I have about 5 minutes to figure out the answer to that?
The defense will figure it out before he presents his evidence next time.
Also, hello, Mint. I see you got home. Mario Kumon said, those who grew up watching Nickelodeon might remember this quote said, by Bulby on Jimmy Neutron. Oh, Jesus. There's a blast from the past right there. Slap, 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 clap, clap, clap. Sounds like a plan. Would you like to hear what I got from Starbucks? Was it something with mint? I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Arball. Clearly, there's something about this that is off. Oh, using the VA's normal voice. Right, I remember that. Yeah, it was weird. Wasn't that during like a talent show or just like a situation where he was like talking completely normal? Chai latte. It's a weird mix of coffee and tea, and it tastes like cinnamon and Ooh, that sounds cool. I don't really drink much coffee. I'm just trying to like avoid anything that is unhealthy at this current moment in time. I'm not going to flaunt my weight loss, but I just hit a recent major milestone. I don't know. You don't have to celebrate. I'm doing it for myself. Okay, so I was under this tree when I feel like, yeah, something about him being under this tree doesn't make any sense. Is there anything about that particular time of day where it would have been off for him to have been seen? I mean... I think... Talent show for a play, and after hearing it, the principal was like, yeah, not feeling it. Next! Dr. Buff was struck in the corner of some object at the time of death between 10 and 11. Well, that's within the window. A report filed a year ago. Sneezes. Stuck to the insoles of the doctor's boots. No. Is there something to that? Trying to think about this. This one's a hard one. All I can think. Like, maybe... All right. So what we need to focus on here is the fact that he was under this tree when he saw Mr. Arbol. Were you really? And how can we prove, like, oh, no, there's no way that you could have been down there? Yeah, Jimmy Neutron was freaking... It was a weird show, but it was a pretty decent show. It was one of those things just, like... It's one of those shows that you look back at and you're like, man, that could have been horrible, but somehow it wasn't. Just, like, a lot of the elements in that show just seem kind of weird and sideways. But at the end of the day, like, when it all came together, it somehow worked. Season 4 was canceled due to the failure of Ant Bully. Ah, that sucks. Okay, so it's not this. Not the diagram of the study. Helicopter drone operated by the doctor's kit, equipped with a camera and a microphone. The movie flipped, so the studio went under. Ah, it really sucks. That's one of those things that, like, it would be freaking amazing if somehow Nickelodeon, like, they're on a little bit of, like, a retro kick going on right now. And if Nickelodeon could throw together a whole bunch of money and say, hey, let's rebuild the studio with all the, as many original people as possible, and try and, like, get Jimmy Neutron back off the ground for, like, a special or something. Flop, not flipped. So, yeah, sorry. I never saw the Bully movie. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and consult. Let's just see what happens with this. You look like you hit a brick wall, Apollo. Yeah, it feels like I have too. Maybe you just haven't brought all the facts to light. Why don't you try pressing a little more? Good idea. Okay, time to turn up the pressure. Oh, so it might have nothing to do with this? Hold the phone. I guess it had nothing to do with that. Well, now that we've figured that one out... Oh man, I can't present on anything now that I've, like, gone and asked the question. Okay, so clearly I need to be unlocking something extra here.
So the witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement?
Yeah.
Yes, it's important. I request that the witness add it to his testimony.
Sure, why not? I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police. Wacky's back. Hi there. Planet Sheen ruined Sheen for a lot of people. Oh, geez, Planet Sheen. I'm trying to remember, like, what that was. Jog my memory, because I'm sure I saw it. I just don't recall. Anyway, you had no idea he was dead? There was a spin-off a few years ago. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Spin-offs, those don't tend to last very long. Or work. Again, I keep making the jokes about the ugly Martians and how that really should not have been a thing, and yet somehow it was. Alright, in other words, you knew nothing about what had happened? I am truly ashamed of myself. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me. Only a politician would try to pass off a aggrandized and self-deprecate. God, please, everyone stop using the big words. My brain is exploding. Apollo, you think this is how all politicians will be from now on? Yep. We're all doomed if they are. If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. Oh, well, gee. Aren't you full of yourself? Okay, so it's obvious that I was supposed to be checking that. And I'm going to guess that what I need to do now is I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Arball. I had no idea that Dr. Buff was dead. That's why I didn't call the police. You didn't know he was dead? You were literally outside the window he was killed at. Objection! Yep. I messed up. Splat said, I may have seen Planet Sheen, but I also don't remember anything about those kinds of shows. So here's the thing. I didn't even know Planet Sheen was a thing. Like, that completely went over my head. I may have to look that up a little bit later. Or if anybody can, like, post a link to that in the general chat. Holy crap. Mapley said, here's another memory, but any people remember the show Robot and Monster? Something about that rings a bell, but I can't. I cannot place it. It's a 2010 show. That's why. I wasn't watching Nickelodeon at that point. Well after Jimmy Neutron ended. Okay. Mr. Addison Wimperson, rather than Mr. Arball. Wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention? Orientation? I don't know. Like what? Okay. Like what? Sorry, I'm messing up all of my voices here. The animation was somehow worse. Are you talking, like, worse than reboot level? Oh. Yep. Never seen that. I thought maybe I did. I have not. Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse and focus the... Sorry, but you're way off. I am?
Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
PS is somehow worse. Again, is it worse than, like, reboot 3D animation? Like... That's all I really want to know. Holy freaking hell. Planet Sheen, the complete series. No thank you. Uncanny and gross. Yep. You'd compare it to Food Fight. Oh, God! No! Ah, the Yashichi. Very interesting. Okie dokie. If the witness saw Mr. Arball from his position here... Funny Stuff says, Pitby, what's your P.O. box? I can send you 32 copies of Planet Sheen Complete Series. Oh, sorry. My P.O. box has unfortunately caught a bad case of being on fire. Then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it was right next to the huge window.
Why, I believe you have a point there.
With the body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported it to the police.
Would the witness care to respond?
I'm blind as a bat. That's about all I could think. Oh, he's asleep. What? Did he fall asleep?
Mr. Addison Wimperson.
Someone pop his snot bubble.
Mr. Addison Wimperson!
Ah! There are many sides to any issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Addison Wimperson, did you really see a Mr. Arball? Yes. This freaking guy. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question. Just bold face. Okay, it takes some balls to just bold face, smirk, pick up your shit, and leave. Wow. This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through. I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I... Claire. Oh. Gulp. Mr. Addison Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come oh, for God's sake. Phoenix! Ah. So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. Arball? As your lawyer, Mr. Addison Wimperson, I advise you to divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Phoenix, why are you pulling this prank on us? Why are you doing the thing? He's like Luke at me, but better. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal.
Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this, I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice, remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Ah, shit. Come to think of it. Emma, who was the first one to discover the body? About that. Whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous. What? That happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police. Shite. Wait, you're not saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson. What? You don't say! Funny Stuff said, what if instead of Zvari, Luke at me said Bazinga? I'd hate this game series. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen, quite admirably, if I may say so. Why'd he hide it then? Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously. Mariokumon said, if he said Bazinga, then Big Bang Theory would be referencing Ace Attorney. Ooh. And, I mean, at the very least, then they would be referencing something nerdy that I would be appreciating. As opposed to, we like Star Wars, we like Star Trek, look at us, we're nerds. Sheldon says Varians. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean Mr. Arball? he wouldn't have been leaving the doctor's house right around... Wait, he would have been leaving the house right around then. Oh, wait, that means... Oh, God. Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Arball fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Arball looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, this so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. Ah!
Bazinga! The truth has once again been revealed to me in an elegant light.
No. No, no, no. Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument... And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Arball who killed the Doctor? That move had desperate written all over it. I have nothing left. It's all I got. I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any. I knew it. But I do have another witness. You do? You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice, and my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Arball's guilt. Ugh. A new witness? I wonder who it could be. The judge is sick and tired of all of this tomfoolery.
Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood?
Oh, dear. You've never seen Mr. Wright so calm and collected. That's Mr. Wright nowadays. He's a good old boy, and he's been through the ringer several times. He just has this stuff, like, memorized into a T. Here, real quick, I'm gonna go grab a drink, just because I'm out of a drink over here. So, hold on a second. Hydrate. It's good for you. Oh, and now for some reason my headphones have just gotten all tangled up, and I literally only just set them down. Why? Why have you done this? Okay. There we go. Oh, and I also got a text. Jesus! So many things happening all at once. Breather. Okay, there we go. Pepper jack, cheese on crackers. What? Oh, that reminds me, though. At the store the other day, I saw that Oreo... I don't know if this is something that Oreo has done in the past or not, but there were some Oreo cookies that were peppermint bark flavored. I can't tell you how much willpower it took for me to not pick one up. Okay. May 17th, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Wow, I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but... Yeah, just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us. He really is the turnabout terror. Wow, is that what he's known for around these parts? That's amazing. We can't let him blindside us again.
Looks like they've got me again. 3 times in 1 year. That's a new record.
That's, please, no more new records or bad puns while you're at it. It's hard enough trying to help you as it is.
Roger that. I'll be more careful next time. That is what Mr. Wright said, true. Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night? Sure did. Can't remember the exact time, though. All I know is he wouldn't hand over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's why he threw me out.
So the Doctor was still alive when Dats last saw him? We still have to prove it, though.
Better brace yourself, son. The next witness's testimony could make or break this case.
Yeah, I know. Hey, where's Trucy? She went to go see her dad. Maybe she's still mad. More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency. She has an active imagination. Hey, you don't freaking know. You don't know how, like, insane this is gonna end up getting. Excuse me, the trial will be resuming shortly. Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us. Apollo, you did that once already. Yeah. That's actually very true. It's not out of the question. All right, we back.
All right, court is back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness?
Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murder to the stand. Holy shit! Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here. You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How did you get him to cooperate? Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle, and also, it's probably not actually him. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer. Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear? Now that's impressive. This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand.
It's the helicopter, isn't it? Helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter, 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 Yep. Why is the background, like, why is everybody in the background so bored? There's literally a drone in the courtroom. And it's a battle droid at that. I don't... Okay. How'd you get him to come out? Well, after a few bullet wounds.
Oh, my.
All right, I guess I need to turn on a little bit of a filter for, you know, Sergeant. What was that again? I believe it was this. There we are.
Sergeant Buff at your service, sir.
He's here as the drone? Really?
Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this?
Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with testimony delivered via the drone.
I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that.
Alexia says, oh god, I love Sarge's character. You'll see why. Oh, I already know why. We've met him before.
But testimony via a remote control toy? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes.
Dude, we testified a parrot, man. Like, there's nowhere but up from here, right?
Just who's piloting this trial anyway?
The judge sure warmed up to the idea fast. I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up.
You disappoint me, Corporal Justice. To think I once called you a comrade. That's what it was. Defending the man who killed Papa. That's full-on treason, soldier. I hereby demote you back to private.
Corporal, private, what's he talking about, Apollo?
It's a long story. Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster?
Locked and loaded, sir. Ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator. Ha 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 ha!
If I could do a soldier scream, I would try, but I feel like my throat would explode. And that being said, my throat is still making, like, all this guck, despite the fact that I am no longer really sick with anything. It sucks.
Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Dats getting ejected from the premises. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just knew it.
Shadow said I actually did the Von Karma scream once. Surprisingly, I did not totally lose my voice after, but I came pretty close. That's something that you need tea for afterwards.
So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he?
Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Arball. Objection. Oh, nope.
Objection. Right, you backstabbing, no good. I didn't kill no one.
It's the enemy! Ready all missiles and fire!
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Jesus. I count this as a terrorist weapon. I think we should probably put it away.
Capitalist pig, I'll turn you into a pork stroganoff. And that's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon.
Whoa, it fires missiles too?
Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice.
No! Help! One time you got too into character and as Maya that you spilled a whole mug of tea that you were holding on the couch. Dang. Was there... Wait, I'm trying to remember... it sounds like a Maya thing, but what game? Did that happen? Did that happen in a game? I'm trying to remember. Anyway.
Papa met with someone the night he died.
Your father met with someone? Could you be more specific?
No, I was in the midst of a crucial defensive siege operation.
Are you saying you were playing Call of Duty? I feel like that is exactly what you're saying.
Right.
You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct?
You never know when the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter.
What about, school?
Oh, I don't go to boot camp. I'm a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies. Still too green to fight.
With a kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either. She was in Kane Bullard's office, sitting in the office chair, maybe, and you think when you tried to do a gesture, but you had forgotten you were holding the mug. Oopsies! You never know when the anime could be... Anime!
Anime, not anime.
Funny Stuff says, I just finished up honey walnut shrimp. Holy mother of God. I don't really eat seafood much, and even then, I want to try that.
It was very brave of you to come to the courthouse today.
I was going to ask, if it weren't the fact that he were in the courthouse, I was going to say, damn, that thing's got range.
But what was that you said about a siege defense?
Oh, that, well. I didn't have eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but...
Sarge, I've always wondered, who or what are you battling?
That's classified.
Even so, it may be relevant to this case. Well, we happen to have a therapist here. Hey! I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about things like that. That's right. Such matters need to be handled with a certain delicacy. Oh, I guess curiosity got the better of me.
You're all talking, no action, soldier. Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, but the number of bullets in your gun belt that counts.
Easy for you to say. You're the one with all of them.
Will the witness please tell the court what he saw and heard that night?
I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. Shoot, sorry. I didn't mean to go forward. I meant to press press. and then I didn't. There we go.
What was the argument about?
I heard things like, "Where's the orb?" and "Are you defiant dragons really criminals?" It sounded real volatile, like a war might break out any second.
So the two of them had an argument when Dats came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, I heard them arguing, and then silence. From my window, I saw the one designated Dats getting ejected from the premises.
Betby is on the other side of the android as well. How? I'm trying to like think about that one. I just hack in, just being like,
Bananas, bananas, bananas. Hey, give me that back.
how was Mr. Arbol acting?
Like a conquered trooper retreating with his tail between his legs.
Trooper? Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military. I bet those two would have really hit it off had they met under different circumstances. Yeah, I can see that.
And so the defeated soldier was expelled, but that wasn't the end. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. Oh shoot, I've done it again. Oops, I did it again. I played with your heart. Lost in game.
I forget what that song actually goes. I forget how that goes. You play with my heart. Got lost in the game. Oh, baby, baby. That does seem suspicious.
He kept hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glances at our house.
Well, he couldn't exactly leave without the orb.
I bet he was angry that he'd been kicked out.
Oops, you think I'm in love. That I'm sent from above. I'm not. Wait.
I'm not that innocent, maggot. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it.
But don't you keep your front door unlocked? If so, then anyone could have got in. When can you force me to sing Taylor Swift songs? If it's in character, I'm totally fine with it.
I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off. Ho, ho, ho. That's true. Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there were only good people in Karain Village.
Dude, I locked my door and I feel like I'm in kind of a reasonable place. Speaking of which, God, there is some shady shit happening around my area right about now, and I do not know why. Like, so many different random criminal things are just happening out of nowhere, and, like, it's been pretty clean for years and years, and then suddenly... Brrr. Like, for example, there has been seen a car, nobody was able to identify it, but late at night, it's been going around this area, checking people's mailboxes. Like, fuck, man. That's literally a federal offense, and, like, God, I hope they find out who it is. That, and also, there are, well, porch pirates, always. There's always porch pirates of some kind. And also, there is, people who have, like, managed to, like, hack into people's, garage door openers, and they can, like, sneak into people's garages while they're not in there. So, now everybody has to, like, you know, lock their garage doors, electronic openers. Like, fuck. I don't know. Where did the world go? Why did it fall to hell? Yet he ended up dead anyway.
Only a monster could do what they did to my kind, trusting papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. Terrible swift vengeance. Taylor Swift vengeance. I'll carpet bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal. Fire!
Why was this not, like... Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you, Judge.
While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns in my court.
Yeah, Taylor Swift vengeance. There we go. So Sarge saw Dats too.
And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out.
I hate to say this, but if Dats is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff. So our only option is to prove that Defiant Dragons had nothing to do with the murder. Alright, we're gonna have to think hard about this one. I only have 2 life, so this is going to be a challenge. Vengeance is another word for revenge. Creeper! Override select. Yeah, of course. Alright. And just so I don't completely mess myself up, I'm going to swap back over to that filter. There we go. Okay. Papa met with someone that night. He died. Didn't have eyes on the ground. Already mounted my siege defense. I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Dats getting ejected from the premise. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. Must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study. And according to what this final dialogue says, wonder why he hung out around after being thrown out. I hate to say this, but if Dats is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb. So, why did he continue to hang out? The man lingered around the perimeter for some time. So there's got to be something weird with this. Splat said, I'm in food discourse that caught me off guard. What? Food discourse? In what way? Oh, let me think. Okay, the man lingered around the perimeter for some... Why would he? Why would he linger around the perimeter? How can we explain this? Here's a question. Could this be a case of, like... Alright, this is, like, going way out of the logic sphere. But... the orb transfer agreement, he clearly got the orb transfer agreement in some capacity. So I agree to hand over the Founder's orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. Maybe he was just being a guard. Like, like maybe that has something to do with him continuing to linger around the perimeter.
Objection!
No! Please take a look at this piece of evidence.
I'm looking, but what I'm seeing... Oh, what am I supposed to be seeing? Oh,
As your boss and mentor, advice. Never present evidence before you have a good grasp on the situation. Shoot. Right. Sorry. Pressing judge, here's a penalty. Damn it. Okay, so not that. You're eating lumpia with ranch. Oh, help me. What is lumpia? I don't even know. Yeah, 1 HP left. So, yeah, we're probably going to lose unless I can come up with a raisin for... Okay. So, a raisin. A reason. Okay. For the most part, let's try and pick out all the things that seem like superfluous and not important to what we're trying to deal with here. Egg rolls, but small and yum. Ooh. I don't know how I'd feel about that one. Papa met with someone that night. He died. Okay, I don't think we're trying to do anything with that. Didn't have eyes on the ground. I already mounted my siege defense. Did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Dats getting ejected from the premises. Okay. I still feel like it has absolutely... So this last line here... This is just conjecture of him just, like, trying to be like, it must have been this. This is why. After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. I think if we can explain why the heck he was still lingering around the perimeter, I think we got this. So, why would he linger around the perimeter? It's not the orb transfer agreement. I doubt he was going to plan to steal it. Corner of some object, time of death between this day, like this time and this time. Could it have something to do with the study photo, perhaps? Like, the amount of doubt that I'm currently holding right now, I don't know, but it could have something to do with something that's inside this picture.
Objection!
Nope! That statement contradicts with this piece of evidence.
And how does it contradict with the evidence?
Could I have about 5 minutes? Nope. Update from the other good explainers. Basically, it's spring rolls. Okay.
That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The Defiant Dragons have failed to sufficiently show their right to the item in question. Therefore, ownership is hereby awarded to the plaintiff, Mr. Paul Addison.
Oh, shoot. That creep Paul Addison stole the Founder's Orb right from our hands. The dream of revolution in the kingdom of Kurain died that day. And we returned to our daily lives. As for my relationship with Mr. Wright, the word awkward comes to mind. Let's just say it was never really the same. Oh, damn. Well, try again. From the top. At least now we know what happens when we fail. So we unlocked no new information involved with any of these things. So I'm going to go ahead and consult. Is it just me, or does that statement sound a bit dubious? You know what? You're right. Thanks, Athena. Anytime. Now to take another look at the evidence. Yeah, the bad end. All right, eyes on the ground. I'd already mounted my siege defense. That's the dubious one? Interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. All right. Understood. I'm really glad this game has, like, little bits of hints just so that you're not just sitting there confused and scratching your head, just trying out every option until you eventually figure it out. I didn't have eyes on the ground as I'd already mounted my siege defense. Okay. So he wasn't there because he was, you know, he was already in his room and all that jazz. So, proof of point. Helicopter drone operated by the doctor's kit, equipped with a camera and a microphone. Okay. Wacky said, huh, funny that I never played any Phoenix Wright games in your life until now. They're good stuff, that's for sure. So what's interesting about the fact that he started his whole siege defense? Was there some particular thing talking about how, like, when he starts the whole siege defense thing? I'm trying to recall if that's the case. You got 2 lucky actions before this drone. Let's see. I'm really starting to think that this has got something to do with this drone. It's equipped with a camera and a microphone. Does this mean that he records in some capacity? And, you know, we can get some footage of some capacity. Like, you know, Yeah, Shadow, if you want to take a guess, sure, but again, don't just straight up tell me. He would be able to see even if he was shutting... Oh, yeah, you got a very good point there. Even if he was shut in his room, he still would have been able to see the events that took place. Unless for some reason he wasn't using his drone for some reason. So, what the heck you talking about, dude?
Objection!
There we go. Sarge, are you hiding something from me?
How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get in on this drag-it-off action with Pig Boy over there, soldier?
Sorry, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof.
Well, what?
Would the defense care to explain?
I have a bulletproof vest, sir. It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he is able to see what's happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then. With his cherished drone, of course.
Ah, now that you mention it. And to think the answer was right before our eyes the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Sarge, you were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night. So you must have seen something. Oh, oops.
Wrong button. Ah! I'm hit. What's this strange new weaponry you're using against me?
Logic, asshole. Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles because evidence is our weapon of choice. And the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie. My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare.
Truth bomb? No! Ah! Mayday! Mayday! Going down!
It ran out of batteries.
Oh my, are you all right?
Evidence! Never have I seen such fearsome ordnance!
Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want to help your father, don't you?
Papa.
Yes. You want to find out who killed him, don't you? Wacky said, let me guess, he'll be using his Gatling gun again, and then answered, I guess wrong. Hey, I mean, give him time. He might use it again sometime in a little bit. So please, tell us what you saw that night.
It's not what you think. I didn't see anything. I swear.
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything. Oh, Jesus. Ah! Sarge, you need to answer my question.
Shut your pie hole, maggot. It'll be a scorching day in Siberia before a lowly private like you orders me around.
Good Lord. He is the soldier. Owa is 4 letters away from Owu. Funny stuff, no. What's with him in Siberia, of all places? But if it's a scorching day is what it'll take, then maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Jesus. Hey, Athena. You think a therapy session might help? Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety. Ah, robot via robot.
Bring it on, bitch!
Plus, I'm picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice. That usually means that patient wants to say something, but can't for some reason. And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your mood matrix magic. Oh yes, with pleasure. You got it! Your Honor, I believe I can be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
Yes, it'll help the witness with his anxiety, maybe even enough to testify.
Then by all means, please, bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright?
Why not? It's not like we all haven't been through this before. Jesus.
What are you butting in for, lady? This ain't a place on the battlefield for you.
Oh, wow. Sexism, asshole. I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom. And wait until you see what I've got at my arsenal. Analytical psychology! With it, I'm gonna blow a big ol' hole in the armor you've built around your heart.
First evidence, now analytical psychology. Where are these WMDs coming from? Well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on. You may have started this war, but I'm gonna end it. Corpse woman Sykes.
Well, at least you got some kind of an upgrade. Target wants me to say something but can't. That just reminds you of the protagonist in wait, DGS for the entire game. Oh boy. You got it, Sarge. Okay. Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart.
Brace yourselves. Derp, darp, barp, barp.
He's just a poor sad baby who can't speak words. Yes.
I stayed in my room with my drone that evening. I heard Dats and Papa arguing with each other. Dats got kicked out, but I saw him hanging around outside. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day.
I think I already see what the heck's going on here. I stayed in my room with my drone that evening. Why are you so sad about that? No? Oh. Deluxia said, oh, I got back at perfect time. I don't know. His emotion isn't that out of place given the statement. No, why would he stay inside? I don't know. Why is he sad? Fluctuation between different statements. Yeah, I mean, I know how this works. I know, but seriously, that makes perfect sense. This is a normal, everyday thing. You're just in your room and you kept it throwing it. All right, fine. Heard Dats and Papa arguing with each other. Okay. Surprised and sad. Makes sense. Funny stuff says, I mean, shut in. Depression. Same. Point. Dats got kicked out, but I saw him still hanging around outside. Okay. So he's upset and shocked about that as well. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day. Okay. Honestly, a lot of these things seem to be lining up properly. A mint apparently sees it. So, all right, the fluctuations in things. Let me see. These seem perfectly strong. You know what? Actually, now that I look at this, I think I see it. It's the fact that he's not nearly as surprised to see his father dead as he is, like, sad that he is.
Got it.
There we go. That's strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet, you weren't nearly as shocked then as you were when you saw Mr. Arball. Normally, you'd expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful.
Enemy fire! Direct hit!
That is strange. I wonder what it could mean. Well, we know he wasn't as affected by his father's death as he should have been. Maybe he just wanted the old geezer to die. I don't know. Actually, maybe he's being held captive. Ooh. And I think I know why. Oh. Sarge, you weren't as shocked at seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. Arball because you're scared of Mr. Arball. I mean, I could see that. You'd already seen his body. Something else shocked. Something tells me maybe he did see his body. Sarge? Maybe the truth is, you left your room that night. And that's when you saw it. Your father's body.
I saw no such thing.
Really? You didn't see his body? All right then. What did you see? Ha! Look, Apollo, we've lost some noise. There we go. Shadow has said a thing in the chat. Ryu, the DGS protagonist, is so bad at speaking that he forgot the word for front. Oh god, I might have to play that game. So, just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please tell us what you saw.
But...
What, did you do it? What, you're self-incriminating? Look at the back of the back, Your Honor.
The moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Huh? Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you had already sensed that he was a goner somehow?
Maybe.
Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
Oh, I saw.
Oh dear. So, his helicopter is directly connected to his emotion. What's happening? I don't like where this is going.
No more, please. Mayday!
Eek!
Help! Oh, hey.
Asshole!
I've confiscated your little toy. The battlefield has no place for unauthorized equipment.
Widget! Apollo, I can't continue this session without him. Sorry, that's stealing, Sonny.
Calm yourselves this instant, witness. I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session. But what in blazes?
Oh, God!
Look at me. I'm judge, jury, and executioner now. I hereby convene a military tribunal.
It's a coup!
Whoa, this has gone way too far. Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant.
Stop! Yeah. Oh, the poor bailiff. He didn't deserve this. If you don't come quick, come quietly out. Fire! God, it is a battlefield. Give Widget back right yet! This is amazing. Did they break the drone? I hope they didn't break the drone. Finally got him back. Nice work.
I need an adult. I need an adult.
This witness is truly a handful.
Okay, good. He's not dead. Good to know.
Up, 2, 3, 4.
Miss Sykes, what's the witness's current psychological state? Completely batshit insane, sir. Let's see. He's emotionally all over the map. So his out-of-control emotions are in control of him. Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause? Yes, so let's see what we can find out. Shadow says, also, Bit, when you can play, please... Wait, when you can, please play DGS. It's your second favorite Ace Attorney game. That's right. The protagonists are so nice to each other for once. Ooh, interesting. Okay, Hey, at some point, I definitely will. The question is, like, I don't know. When will I have the availability and the time? We'll see. Sarge, can you hear me?
Is that you, corpse woman, Sykes?
I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
Oh, no, that's the wrong button. In. Out.
I'm sorry.
In. Out.
And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Go on. Just let it all out.
All forces attack!
That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen. She's not an accredited therapist. And she's doing all this crazy shit.
Dash was still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting and I got worried about Papa. So I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room and Papa grinning with delight. That's when he must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out.
Is this orb like? Is this orb the Ark or the Ark of the Covenant or something? I'm so confused. Holy Mother of Hell. Okay. So what the heck happened here? Left my room, but suddenly... So... There's got to be something to do with something here. So, probing a thing of some kind... Oh my god. What the hell could have possibly screwed with him? Sarge is a human just controlling a drone. Yeah. Did he leave as the drone or as the human is the question. Dats was still hanging around after he got kicked out when... I heard more fighting, and I got worried about Papa. So I left my room, but suddenly... I got dizzy and passed out. I gotta ask this question. I don't think this is right. That doesn't seem to be the cause of his current emotional state. I could sure use a clue or two right about now. A person's personality and past shapes their emotional response. Consider everything you know about Sarge. That's where you'll find the clues you... All right. Everything I know about Sarge. Very well. Well, okay, let's take a look at this then. I left my room, but then suddenly... the door... the window? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna say Sarge right about now. No? Okay, that's not right. Telling a machine to breathe out is... breathe okay is totally illogical. Right. Actual question, Bitby, do you remember Sarge's backstory? I mean, his backstory is that his mother was killed somehow, wasn't he? Or wasn't she? I'm trying to think. Okay, let me think back about the backstory and see if I can remember things. Heard more fighting, got worried about Papa, left room, but then suddenly got dizzy and passed out. You think it might be the door? Let's check here. Nope. Okay, not quite. Backstory is important for this. All right, let's think. Left room, but suddenly got dizzy, passed out. Remember a flame lighting up the room. This was about a fire, wasn't it? Yeah. Yep. That's it! Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you?
What was I?
Yes, just 6 months ago. You and your mother were caught up in an arsonist blaze. So it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire.
Yes, that does make sense.
And maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from this world. I'm fed up with this world.
What do you mean, corpse woman Sykes?
In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the grill at a diner. Even if it's not that often, just the idea that you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out. Yep.
I think you might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes. Just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine.
Wow, the things I take for granted.
Now I see. I was afraid of the fire. Strange. I didn't even realize it myself.
About that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning? What was burning, rather? Just stay calm and maybe something will come to you.
Oh! I'm starting to remember. It was...
Yay. Was it the orb?
It was that relic. That relic Papa was studying. It was on fire.
How, why, what? The orb was on fire?
Mm-hmm. It's still kind of fuzzy. But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there, in the flames was... Ma.
What? Funny Stuff says, yeah, past trauma can lead to phobias like that. Same reason you have emetophobia. Oh boy. I am very scared to ask what even that is, just because that might drudge up something bad. I think you might have mentioned it before, but I'm trying to recall it. Gosh darn it. Is there an actual name for fear of sports balls? You know, probably. There's probably a phobia for pretty much everything. Fear of... Oh, shit. Yep, now the story's back. Anyway, here, real quick, I'm actually going to get up and grab myself an energy bar, because it's a little bit late in the night, and I need to eat a thing. So, hold on. Well, I think a lot... Okay, like you said, I had the same fear. I think a lot of people have kind of that sort of fear. Nobody really likes the idea or the sensation or anything to do with it. But at the same time, like, it's kind of advanced. Funny Stuff has a story behind it, is what it is. Shadow's fear is very niche. I'm trying to think. I think I have fear of like swimming and stuff like that, just because I've gotten pretty close to like sort of drowning at one point. Not really. Like basically, if I were not taken care of, if I wasn't like saved at a certain point, I probably would have started drowning. It was a close call, is what it was. But yeah, ever since then, I don't know how to swim, so I'm just like I don't know. Anyway, kind of want to mute myself as I'm eating this, honestly, because this is just going to be disgusting if you guys have to listen to it. Arr. Hydrophobia. Probably. Bitby doesn't much. Scorpophobia. Is that a fear of scorpions? Chatter says, I have a fear of being under the water and or getting water on my face, but I like being in the water. Like, water is fine to me. It's the idea that, like, if I were in a circumstance where there is a large enough body of water that I would probably drown in it, I'm definitely not going to get into it. So, you know, you're not going to see me swimming in a large body of water like a pool or the ocean or the river or a lake. Or, you know, anywhere where there's just, like, Scopophobia is the fear of being stared at. I think a lot of people have that fear. It's especially prevalent in, like, teenagers who are just like, oh, God, don't look at me. Whatever. I have a zit on my cheek, and I don't want people to see it. You have a fear of moldy food. Oh, shit. Such a crippling fear of food that you just can't wash dishes. I will say there are some food dishes and things like that that I remember Good lord. I've looked in the back of my fridge, and it's like there was an entire colony on, like, one dish. I don't even know how it happened. Just touching dishes or dishwater, even dishwater, even if they were in the dishwasher. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Okay, bar devoured. Let's move on to you know, this guy's phobia.
Mama. Yes, now, I remember. I saw Mama appear amid the dancing flames.
Wait, what? What the fuck? Okay. Apparently it's true, because the noise went down. What is going on here? Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother? He might be confusing it with what really happened when his father died. So let me guess. More therapy? Yep, but this time it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements. And I think we should be able to prove it with the evidence at hand. I hope this inconsistency is key to proving that the relic really is the Founder's orb. Boy, I hope so, because this is long and drawn out. All right. Dad's still hanging around after he got kicked out. Heard fighting, got worried, left room, suddenly got dizzy and passed out. Remember a flame lighting up the room and Papa grinning with delight. The relic was on fire, and I saw my mama's face inside! That's when Papa must have been killed, if only I hadn't passed out. Okay. So is there any logistics to this? Let me think. Bunny Stuff said, this is long and drawn out. Man, I can't wait until you get a quarter of the way through the case. Because you don't think I'm even there yet. Well, at least it's going to be a nice long case. All right, let me think about this. Is there anything that could explain this? Probably not. Honestly, that's when Papa must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out. This is the one thing that was updated, so this could have something to do with it. You think I'm on the third of the way through? Well, we'll see, we'll see. Curane's national treasure. The doctor hid it in the ruins before his untimely death. Okay. Research notes of the Song of Ceremony and the box contained the Founder Order. Addison saw Dats fleeing the scene the night of the murder. One of the books is stained with coffee. I'm still confused by that coffee stain. Like, when the heck did that happen? Why? When's it going to come into play? Oh, you accidentally closed it out of the tab. Oh, no! Orb Testament, the drone, the email, the raincoat. You just remember this case being extraordinarily long, so you don't know specifics about how long it was. I can't... Okay, the relic was on fire, and I saw Mama's face. So we have to ask the question, why was it lighting up? A flame lighting up the room, Papa grinning with delight. And he's happy about it. So what is this thing? Like, what is it? It's clearly not something like ethereal or anything like that. So can we explain it away with something like a lot more reasonable? He looks like Andros. Oh, no, you're right. Back in my head, I was just sitting like, this guy looks familiar. Why does this image look so familiar? Right! Sadly, I don't know if I have any, like, Andros filters or anything like that. I have, like, the Announcer 64 filter, and maybe I can, like, make that an Andros. I don't know, give me an Andros line. From, like, I don't know, Star Fox 64. Mintia said, I heard Andrew Huss, and I flipped the fuck out. What? Who's Andrew Huss? My brain. But no, holy crap, that's Andros. Andros! Actually, wait, would this work? Hold on a moment. Homestuck. Oh, okay.
Hands off my prey.
Oh my god, that works.
Fox, get this guy off me!
Jesus. Oh, I gotta think about this. Robert. God, this is tough. That's what. Okay, first of all, there's actual penalties involved here. Everyone in Star Fox 64 will not stop mentioning Fox's dad and how he's dead. All right, right. Okay, yeah, no, this has to happen.
You're becoming more like your father, Fox.
Something about the book, maybe, or okay, on this book. So that's what I was thinking too, because the one thing that was changed was the book in this circumstance. That's when Papa must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out. Have I watched A Fox in Space? Yes, I have, and wow, that series is well done. And Nintendo, for the love of God, do not cease and desist this. This is great, man. You're becoming more like your father, Fox. Ear rape sobbing. Sorry. I should probably warn people when I do that. Okay. Well, what could I possibly present to point this out? You know, okay, the first thing that kind of pops into my head is that we still have very little information about the study and the layout of this thing, and maybe we can get some more information about that. And if we can clear that up, this might work in our favor. Maybe. You don't play Star Fox, but you watch the whole thing like 3 times and you're waiting for episode 2. Same here. That series is so freaking good. And also the dude's like a pretty good voice actor. Like he does a really good job on that stuff.
Andros.
I'm trying to remember some of the lines from that series. Damn it. What were some really good ones? Just like, sorry, we needed to take your shoes, or, you know, your boots and your shoes.
Why, you think I'm gonna hang myself? Wait, should I hang myself? What are you gonna do to me? Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side.
It's a good series. Anyways, so what I was thinking is that maybe presenting this will open up some more avenues.
Objection!
Shite! There's an inconsistency in Sarge's testimony.
Is that so? Would you be so kind as to point it out to the court?
Well, if you're gonna put me on the spot like that, I admit my confidence is waning.
I could say the same thing about my confidence in you.
Great! Alright, I got that wrong. Say Apollo. Sarge is saying that his father was burning the orb when he was killed. But doesn't that seem funny to you? Considering what the doctor was up to that night, it doesn't add up. Well, now that you mention it. Alright, better. Okay, alright. So, something else. Clearly, we're attempting. Okay, that's when Papa must have been. It's either this statement or it's a different one, because clearly we're trying to prove like something was burning in his hands. Why? What? What purpose? Why would he be burning something? Why would something be that bright in his hands? Because I seriously think, like, I don't know if it's this statement. I'm seriously thinking it might have something to do with fire. You know, the fire scenes, the fire sequences. Did you know that in AFIS, he didn't just do all the animation, but he also composed all of the music? Jesus, that guy's talented. Did all the voices aside from the one girl. Yeah, that's a little bit difficult to do. Girls! You know, girl voices! Yay! And even makes 3D models himself to help him animate. He also made a functioning puppet of... Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Not sure if it's research notes. I mean, maybe, I don't... Maybe the research... I don't know. Do you think he might have been... Oh, there's no way he was burning his research notes. They're clearly here. Like, they're not bright.
Objection!
Yeah, no, that's not it. Inconsistency. Is that so? Oops.
Nope. You done messed up.
All right. His father was burning the orb when he was killed. But doesn't that seem funny to you? Considering what the doctor was up to that night, it doesn't add up. So, yeah. I'm seriously... I mean, this was updated, but I feel like this makes more sense. The relic was on fire. I saw Mama's face inside. I remember a flaming... Okay, lighting up the room, Papa grinning. The relic was on fire. So, something else must have been happening here. But what? Nothing with that. Hands off my piece of cake. Is there anything like in the scene that could point to like something being on fire? Like honestly, that seems to be a really big element to this. Like fire? I don't remember seeing any fire anywhere that when we were looking at this thing. I don't see anything that on fire here. So something else must have been really bright. Maybe the Founder's Orb could potentially be the thing that we're trying to point at here?
Objection!
No. Okay, it's not. Shadow says, obligatory M here if you need help. Might have to ask for some help. Okay, we're back down to 2 lives. Hooray! And I don't think they're going to give me any hints, so... Try and give me a subtle hint. Maybe something as simple as, am I even, presenting on the proper thing? By the god of time, this is hard. I know. Like, what's the proper thing that I should be presenting stuff to? I have an inkling it's this one, but I couldn't for the life of me explain or tell you why. Okay, Shadow says, I don't know the actual evidence to present, sadly, but let's just say, check the evidence for something to do with fire. Oh. All right. Well, the second we see fire... So let's see. Karane's national treasure. The doctor hid it in the ruins before his untimely death. And yeah, nothing about fire here. Biological father. Well, it doesn't look like there's any fire in here. Research notes. Oh shit, wait a minute. When the butterfly embraces the Mitama, the favor of the orb is bestowed. Offer the prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return.
Objection!
Nah, shit. Maybe I did that on the wrong statement. Not sure if that was it, but it helps a lot. Okay, okay. Let's try and look at all of them before I just jump to conclusions again. Hey! I'm on last life here. Nothing about fire in here. Nothing about fire in there, I'm sure. Nothing about fire in there. There's plenty of firing bullets, but nothing about fire with this. Final chance, amigo. I got plenty of chances. This game is nice. That was the clue, but you weren't lying when you said you have no idea what evidence it was. Fair enough. Nothing about fire with this. And, you know, nothing fire about a raincoat. Adorable, Mapley. Adorable. Nothing about fire with that. Doctor's poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything without these. File reported. Crystal of Amy Faye was discovered to be missing from the Addison storehouse at 10 a.m. Storehouse lock had been picked. Nothing about fire with that. Nothing about fire with this. So I remember a flame lighting up the room, Papa grinning with delight. Maybe it was this statement and this piece of evidence.
Objection!
Nope, we're screwed. Inconsistency.
Is that so?
I think.
No. Stop it. You're wasting all our time. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The Defiant Dragons have failed to sufficiently show their right to the item in question. Therefore, ownership hereby awarded to the plaintiff, Mr. Blah Blah. Here's your sad ending, you whippersnappers.
Cool. Funny Stuff says, okay, I think you're actually on the wrong track. Oh, really? No, I say, yeah, you're probably right. But... Funny Stuff says, I think it's actually more along the lines of, what if the proof he shouldn't even have... Wait, what if... what is the proof he shouldn't even have the orb, let alone burn it? When you think about the timeline of events, he should not even have the orb right now. You think? That is one of the only things that changed about this one piece of the memory. And we have not tried to present the Founder's Orb. Did we try to present the Founder's Orb to this?
Objection!
We apparently didn't. Nice one, Funny Stuff. Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room.
What? Explain yourself at once, Private Justice.
You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night, he went out to hide it in a cave. Ah, I see. No, you're right. So, what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb.
Ah!
So you see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb and the ruins within.
So, even if I hadn't passed out,
That's right. The outcome would have been exactly the same. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself.
Oh, I see.
And yet somehow he still does.
Private Justice, can you really say I bear no blame in...
And this here. Why do you ask?
Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense, Papa would still be alive.
Sarge.
Papa wished nothing more than for me to lead a happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved us out away from the big city. But even then, I didn't have the courage to set foot into the outside world. And in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true.
Oh, damn it. Don't make me feel for a robot. Sarge. Oh. If you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, then who's to say it's too late? Why don't you take the first step now?
My first step?
Excuse me. That's right. You can cast off all your regret. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can prevent forest fires. I mean, decide to take the first step. If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp. I didn't forget Athena was there. What are you talking about?
I think I understand now. I've made up my mind. As of this moment, I will suspend my siege defense indefinitely.
Oh shoot, there he is! Oh god, can somebody get us a stool? Oh, this poor kid. Oh, this poor kid! Oh, it's a gal. Did not know. Either that, or you just never cut your hair. Huh? Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty. What? I thought you were a guy! You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned! Well, my mama was in the Russian army. Oh, okay, that explains it. I was just as shocked, but it certainly explained a few things when I found out too. May I introduce you to Miss Army Buff, age 12. No way. Careful, soldier! Don't forget, I could blow you away at a moment's notice. She's just too cute! Oh, come on, you're gonna push her back into the shadows again. Stop it. Explained a few things. Explained what? Russia. Military. Yeah. So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge? Negative. Only since I was injured in the fire.
Your voice sounds awfully different from before.
That's freaking cool. My drone features a voice modulation device. It's just one of my army's many technological marvels. Did you buy that at Toys R Us? Oh. I am sad now. Although I hear that Toys R Us is going to come back in some capacity. I just don't really know exactly what.
Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls.
If it's all the same to you, troops, I'd like to continue my testimony. I just remembered something. And it's a crisp and clear as a trumpet on a roll call.
What do you remember?
It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It was some lady Papa had shown me a picture of a long time ago. He said it was the Holy Mother, the founder of Curanism. She appeared right here, right in the burning orb.
Huh? What did you just say?
She's probably telling the truth. Oh, there we go. That's much less demonic.
Beep pop.
The Holy Mother of Curanism was in the burning orb? What does that even mean? I have a bad feeling about this.
Could it be? Could this explain what Sarge means by the Holy Mother appearing in the burning orb?
Herp de sherp. Dr. Buff's research notes. What do they have to do with this?
They have to do with everything. Look at this. The burning orb. The appearance of the founder. This part points to both.
Right. This entire thing here. Oh, also, founder, greatest power. Yeah, this one paragraph. Look at this.
There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle, and this song, in turn, is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in this part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return. Well, anyone see where I'm going with this?
So it's a lamp? Prayers as fervent as fire? Ah! You're supposed to set the orb on fire?
The whole stanza seems to suggest that the founder will appear if the orb is set on fire.
Wait, so the doctor, he...
Yes, Athena. He had solved the ancient riddle of the founder's orb! Oh my!
And if we light that son of a bitch now, then we'll have our proof. Papa was a great archaeologist, so I believe in him, and I want to believe. I want to believe he achieved his long-term dream of solving the riddle before he died. Let's bring a flaming ball into the court.
Exactly. Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves.
Yes, do it, Private Justice, please. I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes. You're not going to pass out, are you?
The plaintiff must object to this. The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet. You don't have the right to set a precious relic like that on fire! Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the founder's orb or the crystal of Amy Faye. Any ownership rights the doctor had now belong to his daughter. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us. Ha!
Objection. No, you. No, you.
Very well, Mr. Justice. I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence.
That's the best freaking line in the entire series I have ever read.
All right, here we go.
He's got a lighter. Freaking Zippo straight up. Look! Apollo, the inside of the orb! It's melting!
Interesting. There's something in there.
Oh, hello! Look at that.
Dirk, isn't she? Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the Founder herself. Face and all.
We've done it.
I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Curianism is the depiction of the Founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within this orb.
Sweet. Well, now we have a nice little mantelpiece. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear, Waka Waka. Come watch my shows on Mondays, I'm hilarious. The figure is the Holy Mother, founder of Curianism. And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb.
Objection!
Be that as it may, Mr. Arball still may have killed the Doctor. If so, it would render the orb transfer agreement null and void. Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Arball. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding the orb. And you've no proof that Mr. Arball was still around at the time. Your claim that the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. I have never wanted to see Phoenix so, butthurt and destroyed. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the ground. No! Come to my stand-up. A lot of laughs, please. I have no fans. I won. I actually won. No, shut up. He's gonna turn it around on you. You know, Phoenix.
Mr. Wright, would you care to respond?
Respond? I
didn't think so.
Wait. Did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? You're amazing, Apollo! Don't just stand there, right? Do something! He's thinking. Well, I don't think there's any digging out of this hole. Mr. Attition Wimperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie, but you obviously do. How's that for a campaign slogan? Why, you contemptuous peasant.
I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict.
Oh, somebody will say objection somewhere. No objections here, Your Honor. No, so close. Of course you do. You can't do this. The crystal is mine. I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal. I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. You haven't forgotten about our little chat, have you? Do you have somebody kidnapped? That's the only thing I can think at this point. What's going on here?
Objection!
Your Honor, I object to the defense's last claim.
What?
I don't believe they have truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's Orb. Mr. Wright, I don't think even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim that this isn't the Founder's Orb?
About that.
Oh, of course! Brain blast. He can't possibly have hit on something. The defense's assertion is incomplete, and this is why. The defense is basing their claim that this relic is the Founder's Orb on a legend. And that legend claims that the Founder will return when the riddle is solved at last. Right, and that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see. But Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend? Okay, funny stuff says, he has Maya kidnapped until I get him a not guilty verdict. I say that nonchalantly because I'm honestly getting tired of this happening. You know what? Honestly, I would not be surprised if that were the case. Like, she gets kidnapped how many freaking times? According to the legend, once the founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle. You're kidding, right? Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel great spiritual power coursing through your veins? No. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff is all just mystic mumbo-jumbo, right? Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend. And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it?
No, but...
Consequently, you cannot rightfully claim that this is the Founder's Orb. Oh, damn it. According to the legend, Maya has gotten kidnapped and been accused of murder 6 times. What's gotten into him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this?
It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles.
That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor.
In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Both sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. I ask that all arguments be ready by then. Oh, and Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then, too.
At least he bought some time. Dirty, filthy marbles. Okay, well, this being said, this is a long-ass, chapter, and I'm thinking right now, on a recess, is a really good time for me to end things, especially considering the fact that, again, I have eaten an energy bar to sustain myself, but that does not completely sustain hunger. So, I think we're going to dive into the next portion of this chapter the next time that I do a stream of Phoenix Wright. Oh, this has been fun, but Jesus, if there's seriously, this much more to Phoenix Wright, we're going to be doing this for a while. We still have, we have the whole, extra asinine attorney chapters that we need to do as well. What the heck? Right. Yeah, Shadow's statement from earlier. According to the legend, Maya has gotten kidnapped and been accused of murder 6 times. And then Funny Stuff replied with, wait, 6 times kidnapped or accused 6 times, or both? Yes. Oh, Jalexia said, I'd say exactly how much time you how much you have done, but spoilers. No, by all means, let's keep it a secret. Let's see how long it takes before we finally figure this thing out.
Slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, slap, slap.
Ah, the song of my people.
Slap, 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 clap, clap, clap.
Okay, I really need to end things because I'm losing my freaking mind. Okay, I think we're going to end here. So again, thanks everybody for coming out, and especially thanks to the people that are new subscribers. Boy, I gotta say, that top subscriber over there, that is a heck of a name. I hope it adds a little bit of edginess to your belly, to just your brain and all that. Oh, Wacky Mad just subscribed as well. Yeah, Wacky Mad Doctor. Oh boy. Can I press roll credits and then have that replaced? Yes, I can. Okay, there you go. You're in the credits. We have learned a new lesson. I can press that button and the new stuff starts showing up on the screen. Cool. Yes, Coggin Bowl torture. Oh, friggin' hell. You know, I guess I approve of the whole silly username thing on Twitch. Yeah, people get their sick jollies out of it. I don't know if that's the case with that name, but holy crap, it's up there. I think it might be. Okie dokie. But anyways, yeah, at some point I'm going to upload the VODs to YouTube. But again, I've been really busy as of late, and I don't see that ending anytime soon. Just a heads up on that. Oh, Wacky Mad Doctor said, no idea why, but this silly username that you create is kind of weird. How weird? I'm very confused. Well, Funny Stuff is asking, any plans for Sunday? Well, just a heads up to let you guys know that I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. As for what I'm doing on next Sunday, oh god, I don't know. I have so many games that I could potentially be jumping into. I could check out more Hollow Knight. I could dive into a little bit more of, like, Cave Story, Jenka's Nightmare. I could just say screw it all and play a little bit of Slime Rancher because I've had a very, very busy week. I don't even know. I'm not sure. I think that's going to... It's going to come down to whether or not honestly, I don't know if I want to do anything long haul tomorrow, so it might be a little bit more chilled, especially since I have some plans early in the morning, the following day. So, yeah, I might do something sort of chill tomorrow. Maple Leaf says, I still really like the image. I do. Hey, I like the Bitby persona. I don't know. I don't usually draw, but I'm like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, right. I make a nightmare. Okay, well, according to people in the chat, and, all of you are freaking yes men, I swear to God. According to you guys, it's not that bad. Okay. Gotcha. Anyhow. Maple Leaf says, it looks fine. Funny Stuff says, I'm a baby man. Ah, yes. You're not afraid to call out someone on their bullshit. Reasonable enough. All barks, no bite. Ha! Okay, Smokey, I think I'm going to take off now, because I got stuff that I need to do. And also, there is a burg that must be prepared. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. See you next time.